I got the back Revolver X4S installed on my 2021 Raptor. I'm just going to explain some of the things I experienced while installing it. The power tailgate was a real pain in the ass when I was trying to align the rails. So I came into vehicle settings, down to power tailgate, and put it in manual. That way I could, otherwise the power assist would take over and automatically close the tailgate, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go slowly and check for the clearances. If you keep the tailgate with the powered tailgate option on, and you start to lift the tailgate up like this, the power option will power will start to take over and close it, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go slowly so that I could see my clearances without it automatically closing. So you can see I still bumped the cover just a little bit, but I kind of honestly got tired of messing with it, and it does keep a pretty good seal there. So with the shims and this rail, I ended up doing all my alignments and all my shimming before I had rolled this out and latched it. And then once I rolled it out and latched it down, I realized that the tailgate would hit it when I would close it, and I had to redo my shims and to make it work. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So I recommend getting this laid out flat and latched before you start making your adjustments on shims, if you have to use shims. The passenger side rail took a lot more shimming than I would like. The lip of this rail of my truck got bent from the old tonneau cover that I used before this, because it would kind of clamp in there, and it just bent it. So you're supposed to have this at a right angle or perfectly horizontal, and it was not. As you can see, I have a pretty large shim in there. That was a plastic toilet shim that I had laying around. And then I also had to shim up here. I'm not real happy with the way that is, and it's making the seal bulge a little bit, but I'm tired of messing with it, and it's just gonna have to do for now. I might redo it later. But over here on this side, no shimmy at all. It's nearly perfectly straight up and down, and it worked out great. I'll roll this thing up and show you a couple other things that I found while installing. So here's these rubber bumpers here that are there given to you just in case this thing were to roll forward. I don't see how it would roll forward to hit that, but I put them on. But if you look at this window, it's kind of got a curvature to it. So when you're putting these on, think about the closest point to the cover, which ended up being about right here. I didn't notice it until I had already put this on, so I kind of offset them a little bit to get a little bit more coverage. It comes with 2 rolls of weather stripping. There's this thicker one, thinner one. I ended up using this as just a little bit left over. That's what goes up against the front here under this gap. And if you have a spray-in bed liner, it does seal up pretty well. I ended up with 2 extra clamps, and I'll explain why. You get 3 clamps that are specifically for the bed rails. You can see them here. I used the Built Right Industries panel system here, and the only place that I could get a clamp to work is right here, which is a really good spot. It's really close, just like the instructions say. So it worked out well, but I can't get another clamp because of this obstruction to secure, here for this. So I ended up just unbolting this and putting the strap into the bed rail clamp, and it works. I think it's going to work just fine. One thing that's been talked about on the Facebook group a little bit is how the rail hangs over a bit. People have discussed cutting it, but I haven't seen anybody actually cut it yet. So I'm just going to leave it and see how it goes. With the tailgate fully closed, if you push on the back, in the center, it does not latch the latches. Come over here, I get that one. This one, I'm not getting it. If I give it a pop, then it goes in. That doesn't happen if the tailgate's open. The tailgate's open, you can do it right in the center. So there's just a little bit more resistance with the tailgate closed. The other day I was at Line X getting some Line X in the wheel wells here, and they had these bull ring hooks here that they installed them for free if I bought them from them. So I went ahead and got these, and it's starting to give me an idea about adding some extra security to this cover. When I go on trips, I plan on having some, pretty expensive things in the back of this truck, and getting this cover, one of my concerns was, a thief or whatever being able to come over here with a pry bar, get under here and pry that up and break it. I'm not too concerned about them prying up on the sides because of the way it's designed. It seems pretty secure. So I came up with this idea of getting a piece of maybe flat bar steel or something and running it through here all the way across to here, weld it up so it's got a T, so it kind of flush mounts on there nice and firmly, and then on this side being able to install some sort of lock, and that way if someone were to come over, pry this up, try to roll it back, they're not going to be able to roll it back. Another one of my concerns with this cover is how this vinyl is going to hold up to heat and UV exposure over the years. I live in Northern California, and it gets really hot and the sun's going to be beating down on it. I don't park indoors pretty much ever. So I will be following the instructions here that they give you under care and maintenance. And I'm going to get some of this 303 aerospace protectant, and I'll be putting that on the truck, I don't know, periodically, maybe, hopefully it's quarterly or something like that, to try and keep it protected from the sun. That's everything I can think of that's worth sharing about my installation experience and limited experience with the cover. I might do a follow-up in maybe 6 months or a year or something like that, and let you guys know how it's worked out.